Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. I'm gonna wait for some people to get in here. I'm gonna try and figure out what happened to the chat in OBS. Not sure why it's not showing. Let's see, YouTube chat. No? Okay, I guess I'll have to do it the other way then. So yeah, we'll just wait for a little bit while people get in here. If you are here already watching, let me know, where are you from? Who's here tonight? Where are you from? This is a late live stream, and wasn't planning on doing it, but you know, things happen in the world, and I needed to cover this before tomorrow. I don't like to do any YouTube stuff really on Sunday. Like, I schedule videos for Sunday. I have one coming out tomorrow in the morning, but I don't actually like to do any recording on Sunday because it just kind of feels like work, especially since I have my channel monetized. And so I just, so I just want to talk about what happened today just a little bit. There was a meteor over Utah, and not just a meteor, this happens all the time. We have shooting stars and things like that, but it created a loud boom that many people experienced. And it's like all over the news, not just local news. It's in national news. So I want to look at some of these stories and just kind of see what we can find. What happened was I was out and about. My daughter was at a steak dance. It was like a multi-steak dance, and me and Jenica were out about to go pick her up, but we were doing some errands and looking at some clothes and stuff like that. And I checked my phone and I saw Palmer put out a video about it. And the title of his video was something like a meteor hit us. And I was like, what? Is this just like one of his object lessons, or is he talking about an actual meteor? And so I decided I better check it out. And so I did a search for meteor, and I saw just all these stories coming up for the meteor over Utah. So, okay, let me check the chat here. Daniel Moncello is from, or Monseo, I'm not sure, Heber. So that would be Heber, Utah. Let me know if you heard the boom. Anyone that's in Utah, or I guess Southern Idaho, also experienced it. We got Laura Nicewaner from Missouri. Mid-East Saint. We got Davi in Provo. Jay Curtism from Salt Lake City. Nancy D, Portland. Brian Kramer, Sandy, Utah. Sean Lowe, Logan. So I'm sure Sean probably heard it, most likely, unless I don't know, something else loud was going on at the time. Daniel says, do you follow Amir Sephardi? Kinda, a little bit from time to time. I'm subscribed to him. RH Designs, hey brother, Phoenix here. Yes, Phoenix is here. I love that city. Lived there for a few years. Bonnie Nandino, Arizona. Elena Yazel, or Yazi, Fruitland, New Mexico. Haystack just got in. Hope I didn't miss too much. I was just listening to Palmer when I saw you were live. Nope, we just barely started, Haystack. Nancy D, this channel was the first thing I thought of. Jay Curtism, it was loud and our house rumbled. Oh, wow. And you are, let me go back to the chat. You are in Salt Lake. Okay. If you don't mind, where exactly in Salt Lake? Salt Lake proper, or one of the suburbs of Salt Lake, if you don't mind. Spencer McGraw, Washington. Daniel No. MJ is in Midvale. That's in Utah. It's in the middle of the valley. That's why it's called Midvale. Tyler Cragen is here. Hi, Tyler. Everyone, make sure to check out his channel, The Greatest Cause. It's one of my featured channels on my home screen. He's in Orem. He didn't hear it. MJ says, heard it here. Oh, so you heard it in Midvale. You heard it in Midvale? So it was heard in the Salt Lake area. Like that far south. Let's see. But wait, didn't Jay Curtism already say that? Sorry, yeah, he's in Salt Lake. So Jay Curtism heard it. He's in Salt Lake. MJ heard it, and they are in Midvale, which is in the middle of the valley. Haystack, I heard what I thought was thunder in Malad, Idaho, border of Utah. Yeah, as you're going up I-15, Malad is like the first like town that you come across in Idaho. September, Menzia is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You might be the first person from Wisconsin in a live stream or even a commenter on the channel. Stephen Richens in South Jordan. I heard it clearly. It was different from thunder. So they heard it. So South Jordan is like even, yeah, I guess it's kind of like further south. You know, it's like to the west and south of Midvale. I'm wondering if like the whole Salt Lake Valley heard it. Rhea, South Idaho, never heard it. Bonnie and Andino, did anyone see it? Karate videos and more signs and more signs from the heavens. Okay, let's do a little poll with who we have here. It looks like there's 80 people right now in the chat. Put a Y if you think that this was some kind of sign, some kind of spiritual sign. Put a Y. If you don't think so, then put an N for no. Me, Joe, how big was the meteor? I don't know. I don't think that they found it. I'm not sure. Oh, wait. Corey Hoke says Moroni fell on March 18th. I'm assuming that you're talking about the trumpet. Boom happened on August 13th. So it's like 318-813. No coincidences. No, I'm so glad that you brought that up. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, Brian Kramer, heard and felt nothing. I was sleeping. That's too bad. September, Menzia, we saw something really unusual. Lots of people talking about what may have been a military aircraft. I thought it was a shooting star. Getting a bunch of Y's. Jay Curtism, or sorry, Jay Curtisern, or Curtis RN. Maybe, oh, you're like a RN. Jay Curtis RN. There's a video posted on Twitter where it's visible. Can I post it here? It's not going to let you put links in the chat. YouTube just filters that out, but we'll go to it. I've seen it. I know that there's a couple. Yeah, go ahead. Lori S. Nice Wainer. Corey Hoke, that's interesting. Is there any significance to these numbers? Do you know? Haystack, yes, and I'm sure I didn't hear it. It was cloudy, so for me it was likely thunder. Brian Kramer, Utah, Salt Lake City, and Davis counties all heard and felt it, unless you were asleep. Tyler Cragen thinks that it is significant, as well as most of you. Jack Bell, not so much. He doesn't think so, and that's okay, because it might not be. Mary Wheeler, watching from the Western Agency of the Navajo Nation. Cool. Awesome. Ray Morgan, definitely heard it. It was clear as a bell in Bountiful. I appreciate the poetry there, the poetic imagery there. Gracie Lou Freebush, haven't seen from her in a while. It was loud, sounded like a crash from nearby construction site, but the sound kept reverberating. Thought an earthquake was starting. Okay, so sorry, my eye is itching for some reason. I'm going to put myself obviously in the Y category, simply because of this. Up until my late 20s, I lived in Utah, and I've always been on top of the news, even at a young age, and I don't recall something like this ever happening. Now, there are different channels that monitor disasters in the world and strange happenings, because a lot of people are watching for signs of the times. And there's a really good channel called Jason A. In fact, I'm going to switch views here. Let's go to this. I'm going to pull up YouTube. I watch mostly the two preachers. They're very good. And then Jason A. He goes outside of just natural disasters, and he comes across a lot of these mystery booms. Sometimes there's like booms in different parts of the country and nobody knows what it is. There's no clear evidence of where it comes from. So I'm going to put his channel in the chat. I would highly recommend that you watch this channel just because he does such a good job at chronicling all these things. And everything that you see on this channel, it's all from news footage. He doesn't do any commentary. It's just raw from the news. He like edits it together, you know, so that like it's just one story after another after another. And the videos aren't like very long, so you can easily watch through that. I mean, look at this right here. 3 months ago, mysterious shaking across America. And it has to do with these mystery booms. And this channel is full of mystery booms. But in this case, with what happened in Salt Lake, or sorry, not Salt Lake, but in northern Utah, southern Idaho, it seems clear that it was a meteor. Okay. And the reason why is because I think it's on this story. Let me expand this image. Going to take us to Twitter. Okay. So these two, I think they call them cells right here, or wait, it says right here in the pixels, maybe bolstering the meteor theory for this morning, #boom in #Utah. The two reddish pixels. So these two right here shown over Davis and Morgan counties are from the GOES or GOES 17 lightning mapper, but not associated with evidence of thunderstorm activity in satellite or radar. Likely the meteor trail. Okay, meteor trail right here. So you can see the Great Salt Lake right here. And then of course to the southeast, you have Salt Lake City, Salt Lake County. So this was heard all the way down here in Salt Lake County. This was close, relatively close to the Salt Lake area. That's like another thing. Like if this had been, you know, up here in Box Elder County, if it had been down, you know, near the Four Corners or in St. George, I probably wouldn't be doing a live stream. This was heard by the main populace of the headquarters of the church. I think that that's the way that I look at this. The main metro area that houses the headquarters of the church, those people in these cities heard this today. And what's striking to me is, let me go back, what Corey Hoke said about Moroni falling on the trumpet falling on March 18th. Let me pull up that. Not that I don't believe you. I just want to verify, and it just substantiates it for everybody. Salt Lake Temple, Moroni, trumpet earthquake. Yeah, look at this. This is a, oh, oops. I guess you can't see it. It was in a different tab. Okay, yeah, on March, right here, Salt Lake Tribune, March 18th, 2020, was when the angel Moroni dropped his trumpet. And now, today is August 13th, and you have a mirroring. If you're new, if you just joined the channel, Angel Moroni dropped his trumpet on 3/18, and today we had a very unusual meteor go over and really near the Salt Lake metro area on 8/13. 3/18, 8/13. What are the chances of that? What are the chances of that? And what makes it even more, like, what is even more interesting is the time that we're living in right now. You know, the world has not been the same since 2020. It has not. I think it's pretty clear that Moroni dropping his trumpet was some kind of signal that something with missionary work is kind of either coming to an end, maybe the times of the Gentiles is like coming to a close, or maybe it's officially considered by the prophet as closed out now, even though we're going to continue all the way through the millennium. But the focus from Gentiles to Jews, and the Lord, I think, is doing his own work among them, especially with the Messianic Jews, not necessarily through missionaries, but through other means. But you can't deny that that's really weird. That was 2 years ago. A 2-year period of time. And, when you typically think of angels, the imagery that usually comes to mind are beings that fly through the air. Now, am I saying that that's what this was, like an angel? No, it probably was a meteor, but it kind of invokes that imagery, doesn't it? Let me check the chat. This is crazy. Sorry, I need to see where I left off. Okay. September Menzia, thank you. J. Curtis RN at Rio would like to know more about the Dead Sea being healed. GW Vest says, hey, Jared. Hello. Although it's spelled Jared, like in the Book of Mormon, in the Bible. Gene Best, yes, of course it is a sign. Signs and wonders. Elena Yazi, like that. Karate videos and more. Kind of late for you tonight. Farmer's hours. Yeah, I guess so. I couldn't wait until Monday to do this, and I wasn't going to record this tomorrow on Sunday, so I'm doing it now. Corey Hoke, yes, I do know. Church was founded in 1830. 183. Drop the 0 and you have 183. So 183, 318, 813. It is also no coincidence that the church was founded on 4/6 and the 46th president is named Joseph Jr. Corey, you are on fire tonight. Did the meteor hit you? Did you catch fire? Bonnie Nandino, if no one saw the meteor, why not? No, it was seen. Let me show you right now. Right here on the CNN article, you can see right here in this dark circle, it's like highlighting it. There it is right there. There it is right there. And I think it may have shown up on some security, like house security cameras. Here's one where you can hear the boom. I'm going to play this. I don't know if the audio is going to be on there for you. I think I have have it set up to where you can hear the audio. See, I don't hear. Put a 5x5, like 5x5, if you heard that, just so I know that the audio is working in OBS. So it's quiet for a minute, and right about here. Wow. Let's see. Here's another video looking southwest from North Layton. Let me check the chat and see if you guys are saying 5x5. Karate videos and more says 5x5. Okay. I don't actually know what 5x5 means, but I know it has to do with, is everything working properly? Video and audio. Nancy D, Google Dead Sea coming back to life. Lots of articles there. Yeah. And you guys, I'm actually going to be doing a video on that. My friend from Spain, he, Arith Litharaga Olascoaga, that's his username. He sent me a really interesting thing by, I think she's Brazilian, but a Brazilian girl that's over there, and there's like this really cool video you can watch. In fact, no, I'm not gonna be able to find it really quick, so I'll just have to do that when I do the video. Okay. Let's see. Tyson Price. I live in the Sandy, Utah, Midvale, Utah area. I did not hear or feel anything. I live with my parents. My parents hurt and felt it. I was playing Sudoku on my phone at the time. I was distracted. You see, distractions, Tyson, distractions. Look what you missed. I'm just kidding. Um, let's see. Let God Prevail at Daniel. I follow Amir Sephardi, or Sardi or whatever. There's so much happening right now. September Menzia, nice comment, Tyson. Meej Joe says, we hear all sorts of booms that shake our house, but in Arizona, but not that one. Nancy D, hope they do not name it Wormwood. Let God Prevail. I am so bummed that I didn't see it or hear it. I'm in South Jordan. I also did not feel the earthquake on March 18th. Amelia Manu. Yes, it's a sign. Metanu in San Diego. Metanu. Hi, Daniel. I follow Amir too. The dates corresponding is pretty fascinating. 318. Let's see. Echo says, they say there are no coincidences. Numerology always seems important in the past. Yeah, and it is. And when we're talking about numerology, of course, the church does recognize the importance of numbers, obviously. Now, there's all sorts of different types of numerology. Recently, in talking to the Israeli Levite Nazarite, we were talking about gematria, which the church doesn't necessarily, it's not part of our doctrine. It could be in the future, because I think that the Jews do know things about numbers, maybe more than what we currently know. But I'm not going to say that gematria is going to become a thing. And I know that's not what you're talking about, but there is importance to numbers. And we know that the Lord, he's a God of order. He likes things like this. He likes symmetry. It's just like how, just before the days of the flood during the time of Noah, so will it be right now. There's like a symmetry. Okay. Okay. Scott, I'm in Orem and was outside with my son. The boom was so loud it startled us. The house shook. We thought it was a military explosion. We often hear, but it was so much louder and powerful. Okay, September Menzia says, I've had dreams of angels coming to Earth via what looks like falling stars or comets. Most people don't seem to understand what's happening in my dreams, in particular 3 falling stars. Yeah, I wish there was a way to study people's dreams in like a very objective fashion, but I know, even though we don't receive revelation for the entire church or anything, I think that you can receive special communications through dreams to prepare you, maybe give you inspiration, promptings to do certain things in your life or prepare. So you have to wonder, but it's personal, right? Nancy D, the trumpet dropped at 7:15. I guess that's 7:15 a.m. I saw this and thought of how time written out looked like scripture. I looked up Nephi 7:15. Chief judge killed. Government fails. Well, I hope not, but I guess we'll see. Cognitive resonance. I feel like 2024 will be a significant year. I think we all do. I really do. I think we all do. And actually, well, we know that the Salt Lake Temple now is not going to be done by 2024, but I have a really interesting video coming out about that somebody pointed out in an email. So stay tuned. It's probably going to come out later next week. I'm not sure exactly which day, but I already have it done and I have it scheduled, but I might move it up. Means Joe, my son took a photo of an electric storm a few years ago and caught an angel holding a scroll in several of the photos. What? Whoa. Echo, boom. Karate videos and more. I have 5 cats, live in California, and they have all been on edge about something. That's interesting. I don't know if it was because of the meteor, but I kind of I've been feeling tonight a little bit kind of like weird, like something's kind of in the air. It might just be because of that. I'm not, but it's been an interesting night for us here in the Davies household. Echo, the roof is on fire. Karate videos and more 5x5. Echo, does that mean we got some more Moldavite? I don't know what that means. Echo, laugh out loud. September Menzia heard that. Echo, I don't know. We've had people setting off really big fireworks in California, though. Okay, so we got 148 people watching. Let's go ahead and just read some of the details here. I don't think there's like a whole lot, although Corey caught a really big detail, the date, 8/13. Okay, CNN says a high altitude meteor, which blew up when it hit the atmosphere, is likely the best theory for a loud boom heard across portions of northern Utah and southern Idaho on Saturday, said Utah Governor Spencer Cox. Cox, a Republican, said in a tweet he heard a loud boom while he was running in Salt Lake City early Saturday morning. We have confirmed it was not seismic, earthquake, and not related to our military installations. The National Weather Service in Salt Lake City shared a screenshot of a radar map on Twitter showing 2 pink and red pixels over Davis and Morgan counties. If you just joined the stream, this is what it's referring to. These 2 pixels right here, they believe that this is the trail that it took. And you'll note that it comes very close to Salt Lake City. Here's the Great Salt Lake right here, or at least what's left of it that hasn't evaporated. And then here's Salt Lake County, with Salt Lake being about right here, like downtown around this area, kind of like right here. So very, very close, very close. You know, on my channel, one thing that comes to mind, let me pull up my channel. If you haven't seen this, I would encourage you to watch this. I have a video that I did about the 1999 downtown tornado in Salt Lake City. Just do tornado. So I'll put this, let me open it up so I don't forget it. I'll put it in the description of the video, and I'll put it in the chat right now in case you want to bookmark it. Do it right here. Here's the video. You know, that tornado, it went on Temple Square. It didn't actually damage the temple itself. It did do a little bit of damage on Temple Square. It also damaged other buildings in downtown Salt Lake. But it's interesting that that very rare event took place. It's already rare that a tornado would go through any major metropolitan area. It's not that common. But in Utah, it's especially rare. I think when I looked at it last, Utah averages like 2 tornadoes a year, and they're not very strong, and they're usually out in the boonies. It's harder for them to develop up along the mountains, the Wasatch Front. But this crazy tornado happened in 1999, and it went right by the temple. It went right by the temple. And then 2 years ago, like we've been talking about, Angel Moroni dropped his trumpet because of an earthquake. And now we have this meteor that goes in that area, and it looks like it's going the same direction as the tornado, because tornadoes in the northern hemisphere tend to go from southwest to northeast. And if this is the trail, these 2 pixels, I'm pretty sure that this was the direction right here going east. It kind of parallels the path of the tornado as far as going from like southwest to northeast. But just the fact that it was so close to Salt Lake, the dates, oh my gosh, the dates, that's how you know that there's probably something to it.
It's week 33 of the year.
It's week 33 of the year.
It's something I'm trying to do, but I can't do the math because I've looked up numbers because it's a chiasmus.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the middle date between when the trumpet fell and...
Oh, yeah.
I'm not smart enough to do the math.
There's actually a website that you can do that on, but I'd have to find it. So yeah, that'd be interesting to see if those 2 events are related, the falling of the trumpet and this meteor. What's the midpoint? You know, I mean, that would take you to, I guess, maybe sometime in 2021, I think. Yeah, like sometime in 2021.
I found the website, but I don't know how to do it by years.
It's okay. Just Yeah, don't worry about it. Unless you want to, just don't worry about it. Um, Now, the other interesting thing, you guys, is I'm also going to be doing a video about this, also suggested by Arith Litharaga Olaskawaga, my friend from Spain. We served in the same mission, but at different times. Let me pull up the Hebrew calendar. Give me just 1 second. Jewish calendar. This is what I use to keep on top of Jewish holidays and stuff like that. So we'll look at the current calendar. And, okay, first of all, wait, that's not what I wanted to do. Customize calendar. I want to see the full calendar. So, let's see. So we had Tu B'Av yesterday, a minor Jewish holiday of love. I've never heard of Tu B'Av. Everyone knows or should know Tisha B'Av, which was last week. Exactly 1 week ago was Tisha B'Av from the the evening of Saturday last week until evening Sunday of last week on the 7th. Tisha B'Av is the commemoration of the destruction of the first and the second temples, Solomon's temple and the Herodian temple. It also commemorates this is the traditional date that they assign to when those events happened, as well as like the Spanish Inquisition that drove out the Jews from Spain that didn't convert. And then there was also some kind of expulsion from the United Kingdom. So in Judaism, the tradition is that bad things happen to the Jewish people on Tisha B'Av. Av is the month, so it's the 9th of Av, Tisha B'Av. Now, it's interesting that was exactly 1 week ago, so there might be something to that. Who knows? Now, Tu B'Av. Let's see what we can find out about this. Tu B'Av, the 15th of the month of Av, is a minor Jewish holiday. In modern Israel, it is celebrated as a holiday of love. It has to be said to an auspicious day. It has been said to be an auspicious day for weddings. And weddings, we know that that's a symbol of the second coming, right? The 10 virgins waiting for the wedding to start. The king who sent out invitations to everybody. Hey, come to my son's wedding. They all reject it. And so he starts inviting strangers to the wedding. And then just flat out the parable that the church is the bride of Christ. Weddings. So that happened yesterday. And then Shabbat Nakamu. What is this? The Shabbat of consolation. Shabbat Nakamu, Sabbath of comforting, takes its name from the Haftarah from Isaiah in the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verses 1 through 26. That speaks of comforting the Jewish people for their suffering. It is the first of 7 Haftarahs of consolation leading up to the holiday of Rosh Hashanah. Okay, so that's interesting. You know why? Because right now, in the current Jewish year that we're in, 5782, we're currently in a Shemitah. It's a sabbatical year. So if years are like weeks, you have a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, sabbatical years, Shemitah years, is the Sabbath day. That's what we're in right now. And it's going to end in September, basically at sundown on the 25th of September. Even though it's the 7th month of the Jewish calendar, that's when they celebrate the new year, where they change the date from one year to another. So today we had basically the very beginnings of the lead up to Rosh Hashanah. Okay, the head of the year, Rosh Hashanah. So with a meteor going over Utah, over right by church headquarters, a big boom, a big announcement. Could it be that, hey, this sabbatical year is going to end? It's not going to be the Sabbath, and now things are going to start happening. I don't know. That's one way that you could maybe look at it. This is just crazy. Tisha B'Av 1 week ago, and then Shabbat Nakamu, the beginnings, really, of Rosh Hashanah. The beginnings of the end. It's the beginning of the end of the sabbatical year today. And then furthermore, I've been hearing people say that next year would be, like the next Jewish year would be a sabbatical, or a Jubilee year. Jubilees happen every 50 years. So you have 49 years, and then the next year, so like 7 sevens, and then you have the next year, the 50th year, as the Jubilee. I want to confirm this. This was brought to my attention. I want to make sure that I have that straight, but there's been some people saying that. So that would be really interesting if that's true, especially again, in light of these last couple years that we've had. Let me check the comments. This is just crazy. This is crazy. Okay. So I put down, oh man, am I going to find where I was? 5x5. Yep. West Valley. 5x5 equals, I understand. Okay. What numbers mean? I heard. Mrs. Chef Yoda, Adelena, a route. You're welcome. The sealer in the temple told us the day they got word, but only when I put in my aunt's death dates recently and checked the ordinances did it state 30 days. Oh yeah, by the way, Miss Chef Yoda, I got that email. I'm going to get to that at some point. I have a billion emails to go through, but I did see that. Kay Axendy says, I was outside watching my daughter's softball game, and all the parents just looked at each other. It just vibrated through the air and didn't sound like anything I have ever heard. Man, Greg Kelly, it felt and sounded like a semi hit my building. Echo, I saw 2 falling stars in one night last week within 10 minutes time. Yeah, there's actually a meteor shower going on right now. Let's see. Well, at least I think it's still going on. The Perseid or Perseid meteor shower of 2022 Thrill Stargazers, that was 14 hours ago. So that's probably why. And, this meteor is probably associated with this meteor shower. I'm not going to look up the constellation now and look into the significance. I don't have time for that right now. But let's see. Let me go back to this screen as I read comments. Oh, now it's showing up in OBS. Oh, okay. It started to work, huh? Let's see. Echo, yeah. Does it make a noise coming into the atmosphere or just touchdown? No, they can make a noise when they're still in the atmosphere. There was that big meteor in Russia. I can't remember what the name of it was, like Kalingrisk or something like that. Big Russian meteor. Oh yeah, Chelyabinsk meteor. That happened back on January 9th, 2019. The videos for that event are crazy because it was dark outside, but this meteor came and it lit up the sky as though it was day. And then it exploded and it had the force of nuclear bombs. I can't remember how many nuclear bombs, but it was like a big explosion. It was up in the atmosphere, so thankfully there weren't any fatalities that I know of. There was damage to buildings and structures and glass, and there were some injuries. But what happened is, I guess, the meteor comes into the atmosphere. It's really hot, and just that all that heat. I don't know if it ignites something within the meteor, or there's just so much energy, but it like exploded, and so that I'm assuming that if this was a meteor, it was probably something similar to that. Um, oh, and sorry, here's the window. This is what I'm talking about. Go to images here. This is one that you should look up. You should look up these.
I figured it out if you want to look it up.
Okay, Saturday, January 29th of 2021.
Yeah, I did find it's the first day COVID hits the U.S., but I didn't know if there were any Jewish holidays on that day.
No, in 2020. That's when it hit the U.S. Anyway.
It said 2021.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
fine.
didn't mean to interrupt your thing, but...
No, it's okay. If I find something out, then I'll share it later. Okay. So anyway, yeah, they can explode in the air. Haystack, earlier this week we had a wonderful lightning storm, but the thunder was not as loud as usual, but tons of purple lightning. Thanked God for it. Benson, Brunswick, we heard the boom this morning and it actually shook our house. Man. Fizz water, countdown to Rosh Hashanah. Okay, so you were ahead of me on that one. Good job. Echo, there's like major planets lining up right now. I have not really kept on top of that, so I wouldn't know. Cognitive resonance. I was on my mission in Russia when that tornado hit. Dad wrote and told me it jumped over the temple, destroying the area around it. Yeah, it I wouldn't say it jumped over it, but it nicked it. And there is video, actually. If you want to see it, it's interesting. There's one video that we have that was like right there at the Salt Lake Temple. There was like a wedding, that was taking place. They were taking pictures outside. Wedding, Salt Lake City, tornado, Temple Square. This right here. This is I think this one right here is the full. This is the full video. So I'll put this in the chat. I'll also put it in the description below. Give me a second. Oh, sorry. I gotta get better at switching back and forth between the windows. I'm sorry about that. Okay, here it comes. It's being put in the chat in case you want to bookmark that and check it out later. Okay, so I'll just keep it on this screen. Okay. Deborah Lokes, I hate to ask, but was it near Skinwalker Ranch? I don't think so, because let me go back to this image. Skinwalker Ranch is all the way in the heck over here in Vernal, or like in the Vernal area. So no, this was not by there. Let's see. GW Vest, didn't it hop over the temple? Yeah, like I said, it from what I understand, it nicked the temple. Miss Jeff Yoda, I wonder what the time between the tornado and the dropping of the trumpet is. Yeah, my wife found that out. So it was, what was it, January what?
29th, 2021. Did they get the same date?
January 29th, 2021. So if anyone wants to look that up and find out if anything happened on that day, then please be my guest. If you find out, put it in the chat if we're not done by then. Echo, nothing's coincidence. September 26th says September 26th is the day. Rosh is 25th to 26th. Right. Juan Hernandez, Hebrew meaning of the number 318. End outcome. The twilight zone we're living in at this time. So Hebrew meaning of the number 318 is end outcome. My gosh. Haystack. I was on my way back from my brother's funeral and I saw a dust devil that was big and reached all the way to the clouds just off the I-15. Oh yeah, by the way, there was another tornado. This was, let's see, 11 months ago. It was last year. And it was 22 years after the first Salt Lake City tornado. And it happened 2 days after Elder Dean Davies passed away. He was in the presiding bishopric, I want to say, at the time, he served in the presiding bishopric. And this smaller tornado happened 2 days after he died and where he was from in North Salt Lake. So I would encourage you to check out this video as well.
Where right now,
I'll put this in the chat and in the description below. But anyway, yeah. Gosh, I have so many freaking screens open. Or tabs and windows. Sorry, I have to find where I'm at. Okay, here we go. Okay, September 26th. No one knows the day or hour is a Hebrew idiom for Feast of Trumpets. What? Are you serious? Really? Okay. Let's see. September 26th, 144,000 won the game. Tyler Cragen, it's week 33 of the year. Yes. Jenica saw that. It's in 33. That's one of those. It's one of those numbers. There's different groups that really think that's a very, very special number. And I think that it probably is. You know, for example, we have 33. My understanding, I could be wrong. I think I'm right, though. Our backbone is made up of 33 vertebrae. Christ lived until he was 33 years old. And there's other things. It actually gets kind of deep when it comes to 33. Marquita Colette, may the Lord comfort your heart, Haystack. Yes, I'm sorry. That was insensitive. So I'm sorry, Haystack, that happened. I'm sorry for your loss. Mrs. Chef Yoda, between the tornado and the trumpet dropping, 20 years, 7 months. Okay. September 26th is day 1 of nature's timeline. Glorious Echo, return of the 13 tribes of Eden. Jonathan Stager, I'm just chiming in. What's going on? Yeah, there was a meteor that went over northern Utah today. So we're looking at that. It kind of skimmed past Salt Lake City somewhat, relatively speaking. And it happened today on 8/13. Well, now it's after midnight. But on 8/13, and the angel Moroni dropped his trumpet off the Salt Lake Temple on 3/18 of 2020. So 318, 813. Davi Covenado, the midpoint between the trumpet falling and today was May 31st, 2021, which was Memorial Day. Yeah, I'll have to verify that. My wife came up with a different date, but there's like a website. I don't know if you used it, but there's a website where you can find that out.
Numbers and get the middle of it. I just did the dates and got the middle of it.
Yeah, just let's leave that alone for now. September 26th, Enoch being exposed to bring everyone back to Eden. Okay. Elohim speaks. The wedding was on the wedding was on August 11th, 1999, when the tornado came in front of the temple. Cognitive resonance. I can't hear Rosh Hashanah without adding squash banana. Squash banana. Rosh Hashanah squash banana. September. Okay. Nancy D, silence in heaven broken by a boom. Oh, that's interesting. Start in my house. That's an interesting idea. The silence in heaven. What? Is that what we just went through? The angel Moroni dropping his trumpet A half hour goes by. I don't know what would dictate a half hour. Maybe just, I don't know if that's like symbolic. I'm aware of the calculation. In God's time, a half hour would be 20.83 years. So from 2020 until now, it has not been 20.83 years, but we don't know that that's what that scripture means. It may not mean 20.83 years. It could be some other measurement of time. Could that half hour of silence been between Angel Moroni dropping his trumpet and now today with the boom? Because in between this time, there has been a silence as far as taking the gospel to the world. Yes, we've still done missionary work. Missionary work is not going to stop. It's going to keep going from now into the millennium. There's still going to be missionary work being done in the millennium. We've looked this up. Joseph Fielding Smith said that that's going to actually be the greatest time. The greatest need of missionaries is going to be at the beginning part of the millennium. Missionary work is not going to go away. You know, the times of the Gentiles being fulfilled, that doesn't mean that we're just going to like pack up and like, okay, well, we're done. Okay, it's, you know, on to the Jews. It's going to continue. Okay. So if by the Lord's definition, you know, between then and now, we've had the half hour of silence, that would be interesting. Angel Moroni dropping its trumpet. It's quiet. And then today, boom. And like so many people hear it in that area. And the thing about it is what happens after the half hour of silence. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, because there's probably some people that don't know. It's in DNC 88. Let me look it up. If I'm allowed to do that. Okay. Scriptures. Doctrine and Covenants. 88. Control F. Silence. Okay. Okay. So picture this. Picture that a half hour of silence has taken place between Angel Moroni dropping his trumpet and today, the Meteor. Okay. So it says, and immediately there shall appear a great sign in heaven, and all people shall see it together. Which, by the way, okay. And another angel shall sound his trump saying, the great church, the mother of abominations, that made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, that persecuteth the saints of God, that shed their blood, who sitteth upon the many waters and upon the islands of the sea. Behold, she is the tares of the earth. She is bound in bundles. Her bands are made strong. No man can loose them. Therefore she is ready to be burned. And he shall sound his trump, both loud, long and loud, and all nations shall hear it. I think we're talking about, you know, metaphor here. We've done a study recently that, okay, so the four angels whose job it is to do this, the reaping of the earth, the gathering of the wheat and the tares, we have a date for when that happened. According to Wilford Woodruff and a revelation that he received, which has been validated by Joseph Fielding Smith, it was 1893. Well, okay, spoiler, with the dedication of the Salt Lake Temple. That was the year that the Salt Lake Temple was dedicated. Okay, so they've been reaping the earth since that time, gathering wheat and tares. And from the study that we've done, that what that means is that you have the two groups moving apart. Tares becoming more terror-like, more worldly, more sinful, the righteous becoming more and more grouped together. And it's pretty clear that within this century, especially since 2001, the divide has just been growing year by year by year between secularism, spirituality, good, evil, down those lines. So, I think we're at the point now. I wouldn't be surprised if we're at this point that the great and abominable church has been bound really tight. Okay, have you ever seen a time in your life when evil has been more united than now? I don't think there's ever been a time like this when evil has been so just flourishing and working together, and yeah, they're bound really strong. No man can loose them. No one can shake them to their senses. And so, and he shall sound his trump both loud and long, and all nations shall hear it. And there shall be silence in heaven for the space of half an hour. And immediately after shall the curtain of heaven be unfolded, as a scroll is unfolded after it is rolled up, and the face of the Lord shall be unveiled. And the saints that are upon the earth, who are alive, shall be quickened and caught up to meet him. And they who have slept in their graves shall come forth, for their graves shall be opened, and they also shall be caught up to meet him in the midst of the pillar of heaven. So, let's pretend that's been fulfilled. Let's say that today, the half hour is over with a loud boom. Now it's not silent. The missionaries have struggled for the last couple of years because of restrictions that have been placed on them. Silence. Now it's over. What happens next? Well, those that are on, okay, no, let's go back. It says the scroll is unfolded. The curtain of heaven is unfolded. The Lord shall be unveiled. And then those upon the earth will be caught up, and the resurrected will be resurrected and caught up. Now, does that mean that tomorrow it's going to happen? No. It could be a year from now. It could be whatever. And I'm not saying that this is the fulfillment of this scripture. I'm just exploring this possibility. So if this is it, it could still go for another year or two, and a lot of things can happen in a year or two. We don't know what immediately after what that means exactly. But that is a fascinating idea, Nancy D. That's a fascinating idea. Smile, Jesus loves you. Watch Before the Wrath. It is an amazing explanation of Jewish wedding and what it means. So many things translated in that documentary. Has so many keys to Bible prophecy. Everyone will love it. Yes. I'm familiar with what you're talking about, and yes. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to catch up with all the comments. Amazon Warrior says, I saw 2 rainbows this afternoon. No second coming this year. Yeah, and that's not too much of a surprise. It wouldn't be a surprise to me, but that doesn't mean that Adam on Diamond couldn't happen this year or other key events. Who knows what might be announced at this next general conference. Don't know. So yeah, I'm not saying that second coming this year, but other really key events could happen this year. And we're almost toward the end of the year anyway. At this point, I've always viewed, once you get to August, we're like in the winding up phase of the year. So this year is almost over. So what does 2 rainbows mean? It's Joseph Smith's prophecy that in any year that the rainbow is seen, the second coming will not happen in that year. Let's see. Skipping down. Eric Rodriguez, I felt more of a silence when President Thomas S. Monson wasn't going to General Conference due to health problems until President Nelson became prophet. Yeah, and that could be, who knows exactly what this scripture means, but here's a possibility today. Stephen Harmon. Okay, when was this for y'all? Tonight or yesterday? It was the Meteor. It was on the 13th. So right now in Central Time, it is now past midnight. So for me, it was yesterday. Yeah, I better wrap this up because I still have a lesson to prepare for Elders Quorum tomorrow. Well, whatever the case, I think that probably most of us do see this as some kind of special event. I think that I can say with some degree of certainty that a meteor of this sort exploding over Utah, so much so that people hear it and it shakes houses, I've never heard of that in all my life. And I lived in Utah until my late 20s. So it's rare. The tornado in 1999 was rare. The trumpet falling from Angel Moroni's hands is rare. And anytime that these things happen, I think that we should take notice for sure. And especially with what Corey pointed out, that today it happened on August 13th, 8:13. The Angel Moroni's trumpet fell on 3/18. 318-813. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. Okay, that's going to be it for this one. So thank you for joining me tonight. Let's all just think on these things. You know, Sabbath is starting. It's a good day to ponder things like this. Look at ourselves, make sure that we're good to go for whatever may happen. You know, keep your covenants beyond the covenant path. Like President Nelson said, now is the time to prepare. So, all right, that's going to be it. Good night, everyone.